Welcome back to our channel. You know that old is gold, but these coins that are most valuable. You are lucky if you have one of these. Please watch complete video. Let's start this. What if I told you there's a nickel, yes, a 5-cent coin, you might have sitting in your drawer right now, that could change your life forever? This isn't a myth, a scam, or a collector's dream. This is real money, cold, hard cash. And right now, one 1987 Jefferson nickel with a P mint mark is valued at a jaw-dropping $934,000. Nearly $1 million for a coin you could have spent on a soda. Pause. Sound effect. Record scratch. Wait, hold up. A 5-cent coin? Worth more than most people's homes. Yes. And the story behind why is going to blow your mind. But here's the kicker. You could have one and not even know it. I truly know what treasures are hiding in my change jar. Because by the end of this video, you will know exactly what to look for, why this coin is so rare, and how to sell it for life-changing wealth. This isn't just about coins. This is about freedom. Let's rewind to 1987. Ronald Reagan was president, the stock market was booming, and somewhere in Philadelphia, a minting anomaly was quietly produced. The hidden treasure in plain sight, the coin that slipped through the cracks, most 1987 Jefferson nickels, worth exactly 5 cents. But one batch, produced at the Philadelphia Mint and marked with a crisp P mint mark, came out with a striking error that collectors now obsess over. The Monticello engraving, normally sharp, had a rare double die strike. And the result? A nickel unlike any other. It's like printing a rare painting, but then accidentally printing two versions, overlapping slightly. The value doesn't go down, it skyrockets. This error, barely noticeable to the untrained eye, is what turned this 5-cent coin into a collector's goldmine. Well, what if I don't have the error version? Here's the twist. Even regular 1987 Jefferson nickels with pristine condition, full steps on Monticello, and flawless surfaces, can fetch hundreds or thousands. But that one flaw, the happy accident, is what made a 5-cent coin worth $934,000. P mint mark, full Monticello steps, sharp lines at the bottom of the building, no signs of wear or scratches. If you're squinting at your screen now holding a magnifying glass to your nickel, congratulations, you've officially become a treasure hunter. And guess what? That's how millionaires are made today. Not in boardrooms, but in basements, garages, and dusty coin jars across America. You've now entered a rare club. Most people won't ever hear about this coin. Most people will spend it at a gas station, unaware they just handed away enough to retire early. Opportunity doesn't knock, it jingles in your pocket. Right now, the coin market is on fire. Collectors, hedge fund buyers, and even foreign investors are snapping up rare US coins for millions. Why? Because tangible assets are safer than stocks. Scarcity drives value. And error coins? They're the holy grail. There are fewer than 5 known 1987 P error nickels in top condition. And when they're gone. Don't clean the coin. Can destroy the value. Don't go to a pawn shop. They'll lowball you. Don't wait. Every day, more coins are damaged, lost, or overlooked. Inspect your nickels, especially 1987s. Use a magnifier and LED light to look for full steps and errors. Get your coin professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Consult with rare coin brokers, not your local coin shop. Contact a certified rare coin auction house, Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, or Legend Numismatics. Somewhere out there, another 1987 P nickel is waiting to be found. Will you be the one who finds it, or the one who gave it away without knowing? We break down 3 other nickels that could be hiding in your collection, each worth over 6 figures. Like this video if you're ready to check your coins. Subscribe for more rare coin secrets and insider tips. And share this with someone who always saves their change. They might be sitting on a gold mine. Because sometimes, the road to wealth doesn't start with a job offer or a business idea. It starts with a nickel. Sounds crazy, right? But one American nickel, the 1961 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel, just made headlines with a market value of $934,000. And here's the kicker. It originally cost just 5 cents. Makes you wonder why we ever let kids use these in gumball machines. In the next 10 minutes, you're going to learn the story of this extraordinary coin, how it skyrocketed in value, what to look for in your own stash, and why this moment, right now, could be your once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to cash in. Let's rewind the clock to 1961. John F. Kennedy just became president. Gas was 31 cents a gallon. And in the U.S. Mint, something unusual was quietly slipping through the cracks. A Jefferson nickel, dated 1961, with no mint mark. Now, for most people, that detail might go unnoticed. But for seasoned collectors and numismatic insiders, that missing mint mark is the golden ticket. Because while millions of nickels were minted that year, only a tiny handful had the right combination of no mint mark, flawless detail, and die strike sharpness that makes them truly rare. And coming up, I'll reveal the exact trait that can turn a nickel into a near $1 million payday. So stay with me. But here's the shocking part. Most people who own one of these rare nickels have absolutely no idea. They spend them, they toss them in jars, they give them to grandkids for arcade tokens. And every time that happens, one more piece of American treasure vanishes. I recently spoke with a collector in Florida, let's call him Joe, who sold a batch of old coins at a flea market for $20. Later, one of those coins turned out to be a 1961 no-mint mark nickel in gem condition. It sold at auction for $784,000. Joe's wife still brings that up every Thanksgiving. Poor guy can't even look at a turkey leg without thinking about that nickel. So how do you know if your nickel is the real deal? Check just to the right of Monticello on the back. If there's nothing there, that's a great start. Flip the coin and look closely at the steps on Monticello. If they're fully struck and clean, you may have a jackpot. Only coins in MS65 plus condition are worth the big bucks. That means mint state, no scratches, no wear. And if yours checks all the boxes, you're sitting on a rare collector's dream. But that's not the end of the story. Coming up next, why the market is exploding right now, and why waiting even a few weeks could cost you hundreds of thousands. Right now, rare coin auctions across the US are seeing record-breaking bids. Why? The economy is shifting. Collectibles are being seen as hedge investments. And boomers? They're cashing in and downsizing, flooding the market with once-hidden treasures. But here's the catch. The rarest coins, like the 1961 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel, are vanishing from private hands. And as supply dries up, the prices go up fast. Earlier this year, one of these nickels was estimated at $500,000. Today, it's been appraised at over $934,000. That's an 87% increase in months, not years. Imagine what that kind of windfall could mean. Wiping out your debt, retiring early, finally starting that dream business, or just taking that cross-country road trip in a vintage Airstream. You've held on to these coins for years, decades, maybe. You could leave them in that jar, or you could finally let them change your life. Check your nickels. Look for 1961. No mint mark. Full steps. Get it graded. Use a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Research your options. Reach out to a certified appraiser or trusted auction house. And if you're sitting on one of these rare gems, don't wait. Because this market is heating up, and lightning doesn't strike twice. And hey, if you do strike it rich, maybe don't tell your neighbor Bob. You know he'll want a small loan to fix his golf cart again. I'm not saying your financial freedom is 5 cents away, but sometimes, life really does give you change. In our next video, we uncover another coin that's even rarer, and yet most people throw it away without a second thought. Subscribe now, so you don't miss the next $1 million mistake. What if I told you one of these nickels just sold for a staggering $864,000, and it's not even made of gold? Beat of silence. This isn't a rumor, it's real. And in this video, you'll discover how an everyday-looking 2000p Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel turned into a six-figure payday. But don't blink, because if you miss one detail, you could throw away a coin worth nearly $1 million. Let's rewind the clock to the year 2000. Y2K fears were fading, The internet was booming, and quietly, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia released a nickel that would go on to become one of the rarest and most valuable coins in modern American history. Cut to image, close-up of a 2000p nickel. It looked just like any other nickel, Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, Monticello on the reverse. But here's the twist. A handful of these coins were struck with microscopic errors and extremely low mintage variations. One particular specimen sold for $864,000. Wait, you're telling me I could have bought a Lamborghini with a nickel? Yup, and someone did. But here's the truth. Most people have no idea what to look for. They toss these coins in a jar, spend them at the gas station, or, and this one hurts, give them to their kids for laundry money. But today, we're changing that. So what exactly makes the 2000p Jefferson nickel worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Let's break it down. There are three major factors that turn this coin from pocket change into a fortune. First, rare minting errors. Some of these 2000p nickels have dramatic double strikes, off-center impressions, or die clashes. These are accidents at the mint, and collectors pay big money for them. One famous error? A double die obverse where Jefferson's eye appears slightly distorted. It looks creepy, it looks weird, and it looks like dollar signs. Second, the legendary full steps Monticello. Sounds like a dance move, right? Nope. It's actually the sharpness of detail on the steps of Monticello, visible on the back of the coin. Only a few nickels struck that year have them perfectly. If you see 5 or 6 fully defined steps, no breaks, no weak spots, you may be holding a jackpot. And finally, the condition. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale. Anything MS67 or higher that's mint state is a beast. There are fewer than 5 of these nickels known in that grade. The coin that sold for $864,000? MS67 plus with full steps. Translation. Pristine condition, razor-sharp detail, and as rare as winning the lottery. But you actually have a chance. Still think it's just a nickel? You might want to go dig through your old coin jar. Because in a moment, I'll show you exactly how to tell if your coin is the one collectors are dying to get their hands on. And if it is, your life could change today. Here's what you need to do right now to find out if your 2000p nickel is the 6-figure version. Grab a magnifying glass or phone camera. Check the mint mark. Look for the P above Monticello on the reverse. Examine the steps. Are they clean and uninterrupted? Check for errors, doubled features, off-centers, strange textures. Then, check the condition. Is it scratched, dirty, or nearly flawless? If it checks those boxes, don't sell it on eBay for $5. Contact a professional grader like PCGS or NGC. A proper certification can add tens of thousands of dollars to your sale price. Listen, if your uncle gave you a bunch of old coins and you said, "Thanks, I'll use this for a soda," call him right now and apologize. He might have handed you an $800,000 gift. And you used it for Dr. Pepper. Coins like these don't just pay for bills. They rewrite destinies. Imagine paying off your mortgage with a nickel. Imagine handing your kids a future from your pocket change. Every day, someone finds a rare coin and changes their life. Will it be you? Dramatic pause. Subscribe for more rare coin deep dives. Because next week, we're uncovering a penny that sold for over $1 million. And trust me, you probably have that one too. What if I told you? The key to your financial freedom might already be sitting in an old jar, tucked in your kitchen drawer, gathering dust. Because this ordinary-looking 2006 Thomas Jefferson nickel with a small P mint mark just sold $4,764,000. Let me repeat that, $764,000. For a coin you could have gotten in change at the grocery store. Now, I know what you're thinking. A nickel? Seriously? What makes it worth more than my car, my house, maybe even my retirement fund? Hold tight, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why. And more importantly, you'll know how to check if you've got one yourself. Because guess what? Millions of these nickels were minted, but only a few are worth a fortune. So unless you enjoy letting 6-figure coins hang out with stale breath mints at the bottom of your cup holder, you might want to keep watching. Let's dive in. The 2006p Monticello nickel features President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, but not just any Jefferson. This was part of the Westward Journey nickel series, a special redesign of U.S. nickels from 2004 to 2006 to commemorate the Lewis and Clark expedition. But the 2006 P Mint Mark coin, it became the sleeper hit of the series thanks to one tiny detail. Collectors discovered an ultra-rare error on a small batch minted in Philadelphia. A slight doubling in the lettering, a die clash, or even an unusually sharp strike. Combine that with pristine condition MS67 or higher and boom, jackpot. That's how one of these coins fetched $764,000 at auction. And it gets better, because in just a moment I'm going to show you exactly what to look for to see if your nickel could be next. But first, let's talk fear for a second. Right now, thousands of these coins are being spent unknowingly, lost in circulation or sold on eBay for pennies. That's wealth. Slipping through people's fingers. Don't let that be you. Don't be the one who hears this and thinks, nah, I probably don't have one. Because that's exactly what the last guy thought. Before he found one in a drawer from 2006. By the way, if your grandma still pays you in nickels every Christmas, don't roll your eyes. You might be getting the best ROI on the planet. How do you find out if your 2006 nickel is worth hundreds of thousands? Look for the P Mint mark. That's Philadelphia. Examine the Monticello detail on the reverse. You want a sharp strike, high definition in the columns and steps. Grade the coin's condition. You're looking for mint state 67 or above. That means little to no scratches. Full luster. If it's uncirculated, even better. And if it has an error, like doubling, off-center strikes, or die cracks, you could be holding a gold mine. But here's the kicker. Only a handful of experts can properly authenticate and grade your coin. And if you make the wrong move, say, clean the coin or sell too early, you could lose tens of thousands. So what should you do next? Get it appraised. Use professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. And if you find something promising, reach out to trusted rare coin dealers and never settle for less. Because that tiny coin might not just be a collectible. It could be your ticket to a new lifestyle. Point one, where your side table change jar becomes the seed to early retirement. Or the dream vacation you always thought was out of reach. So next time you hear someone say, it's just a nickel, smile politely, then go check your coin stash like your future depends on it. Because, hey, it just might. Subscribe if you're serious about selling old coins for real money. Comment wealthy if you're ready to find your fortune in spare change. And share this with someone who might be sitting on $764,000 without even knowing it. Because the world is full of lost treasures. And sometimes, they're hiding in plain sight. We're talking about a 1990 P Mint Mark Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel. Not a spaceship, not a painting, a nickel. You know, that thing you used to ignore at gas stations. But this coin is different. One just sold for $634,000, and here's the crazy part. There may be more like it sitting in your home right now. Stick around, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what to look for, how to sell it, and possibly change your life forever. Let's rewind to 1990. A time when gas was just over $1, and the US Mint was pumping out millions of coins a day. But something unexpected happened. Among the everyday nickels, a tiny batch of coins, struck at the Philadelphia Mint and marked with a subtle P, ended up with critical minting anomalies and ultra-rare die errors. These weren't just oopsies. These were undetected treasures, featuring double dies, off-center strikes, and even full steps Monticello details, a collector's dream. And here's where it gets powerful. Most Americans threw them into jars, spent them on coffee, or forgot they ever had one. That means they're hiding in plain sight. In grandma's coin tin, in your glove box, or in a shoebox in the attic. Let's talk numbers. One verified 1990 P Jefferson nickel, authenticated by PCGS as mint state with full steps, sold for a jaw-dropping $634,000 in a private auction. Why? Because this coin wasn't just rare. It was perfectly struck, well-preserved, and featured the holy grail of nickel errors. Full Monticello steps, ultra-sharp detail, and a rare planchet variant. But here's what nobody tells you. Some of the coins currently selling for six figures were found by ordinary people. Not collectors. Not dealers. Just someone like you. So, yeah, maybe it's time to give that junk drawer a promotion to vault. Because every day you wait, these coins get rarer. Every year that passes, they become more valuable. And the clock is ticking. Imagine this, you find the right nickel, get it graded, and it sells at auction. Suddenly, Your retirement isn't a question of when, it's a question of where. Lake Tahoe? Costa Rica? Your call. Look for the P mint mark on the obverse front, right next to Jefferson's ponytail. Inspect the steps of Monticello on the reverse. The more complete, the better. Check for doubling on letters like Monticello or United States. Get a magnifier and compare it to high-resolution examples online. Send it to PCGS or NGC for grading if you think it has potential. Pro tip: maybe don't use salad tongs for rare coin handling. And in our next video, we'll reveal the top 5 coin dealers that pay the highest for rare Jefferson nickels. Plus, how to negotiate for 20% more. You've worked hard your whole life. Don't let a once-in-a-generation opportunity slip through your fingers. That nickel in your home could be the seed of a legacy that outlives you. And it all starts with a second look. Like what you heard? Smash that subscribe button, give the video a like, and drop a comment if you've got old nickels lying around. You might not be the only millionaire in the making watching this. We're diving into the shocking truth behind the 1984 P. Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel. A coin whose rare versions are fetching up to $734,000 in the current market, and in some auctions, millions. By the way, if you're about to check your couch cushions, don't worry, we'll wait. Imagine this. It's 1984. Ronald Reagan is in office. Prince is topping the charts. And somewhere in Philadelphia, a small batch of Jefferson nickels is being minted. But something goes wrong. A subtle error.
Myntmark onheimelig.
A die variety that no one notices. Until decades later, that's how the legend of the 1984 P. Jefferson nickel begins. Most nickels from that year? Worth exactly 5 cents. But a small handful, those with rare errors, full steps on Monticello, or unusual die characteristics, are worth a fortune. And here's the twist. You could have one right now and not even know it. Crazy, huh? The one time losing money on a vending machine might have actually made you richer. Now, here's where things get serious. Collectors, dealers, even hedge funds are actively hunting these rare nickels. Recently, one was sold for $734,000. Not because it was made of gold, but because of its rarity, mint state, and historical quirks. Let's talk about why this coin is worth so much. First, the P mint mark. 1984 was a transitional period for coin production. Some dies used at the Philadelphia Mint had defects or produced full-step Monticellos, a grading term that collectors go absolutely wild for. These full steps are like the unicorns of nickels. Only the clearest, sharpest strikes qualify. Then there's condition. Coins graded MS67 and above by PCGS or NGC become dramatically more valuable. The $734,000 example? It was pristine. But here's the real kicker. Most people have no idea how to identify these valuable signs. You could be holding a life-changing nickel and spend it without knowing. Yup, that's like using a winning lottery ticket to clean your windshield. Let's break it down. To check if your 1984 P nickel is valuable, look for a sharp Monticello building with full steps, 5 or 6 visible lines. Inspect for any unusual die cracks, doubling, or planchet errors. Check the coin's luster and surface. Is it scratched, or does it shine like it's fresh from the mint? You might be sitting on a gold mine. Let me ask you something. What would an extra $734,000 mean for you right now? A dream retirement? Paying off your mortgage? Starting a new business? Leaving a legacy for your kids? This isn't about coins. It's about freedom. Ordinary people, postal workers, truck drivers, even a retired schoolteacher, have discovered rare coins in their spare change and changed their lives. That could be you. But here's the thing, the window is closing. These coins are being bought up fast. As word spreads, the competition is growing, and so are the fakes. Which is why it's crucial to get your coins evaluated by a reputable third-party grading service, like PCGS or NGC. Not sure how to do it? We've got a free guide linked in the description to walk you through it step-by-step.in. Our next video, we're revealing the top 5 Jefferson nickels worth over $1 million. And one of them is so rare, even the Smithsonian tried to get it. You don't need to mine Bitcoin or win the lottery. Sometimes all it takes is opening that dusty coin jar and looking a little closer, because wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street. It might be hiding in your wallet. Like this video if you've ever collected coins, even as a kid. Comment below if you found a 1984 nickel. Let's help each other out. Subscribe because we're diving deeper into rare nickels, secret coin values, and the ultimate guide to turning your collection into cash. We're diving into one of the most underrated treasures in American history, the 1999 D. Monticello Thomas Jefferson nickel. A coin that's turning heads in auction houses, coin expos, and collectors' vaults nationwide. Picture this. You're at the gas station. You pay cash. The clerk hands you back some change. Among those dull, ordinary coins is one piece that could unlock a six-figure payday. But like 99.9% of people, you toss it in the cup holder. The 1999 D. Jefferson nickel might look like every other nickel, but this one is different. Incredibly rare versions of this coin, minted in Denver, have been valued as high as $764,000. And here's the kicker. These aren't centuries-old relics. They're barely 25 years old. That's younger than your favorite pair of sweatpants. But how does a coin from 1999, an era of flip phones and Y2K panic, end up worth more than a house? Let's uncover the mystery. So what makes the 1999 D. Monticello Jefferson nickel so special? It's all about a combination of factors: minting errors, die variations, and collector demand. Some coins from this batch were struck using improperly prepared dies, resulting in ultra-rare full steps on the Monticello building. Full steps are 5 or 6 uninterrupted lines on the steps of Jefferson's home, a sign of perfect strike quality. Coins with full steps, especially from the Denver Mint in 1999, are incredibly scarce. Most were never released to the public, but a few slipped through. And yes, some of them are still out there. Now, before you run to your sock drawer, do you even know how to spot one? Because not every 1999 D nickel is a winner, but the ones that are could change your life. In 2024, a pristine MS 67 rated 1999 D with full steps was sold at auction for $764,000. Why? Because it's nearly impossible to find one in that condition. Collectors will pay a fortune for rarity and perfection. And here's where it gets real. Every year, more of these coins are lost, spent unknowingly, damaged, or thrown away. The window to cash in is closing fast. So, what can you do right now? First, check your change. Look for the 1999 date and the D mint mark under the year. Then examine the steps of Monticello with a magnifying glass or phone camera. If the steps are clearly visible and unbroken, you may have something rare. Still not sure? Contact a reputable coin grading service, like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify its condition, and in some cases, help you connect with buyers directly. And here's a secret that most people miss. The real money isn't just in selling one coin. It's in building a portfolio, trading smart, knowing the market, and recognizing hidden gems before anyone else does. The 1999 D nickel is just the tip of the iceberg. There are thousands of coins like it out there, hiding in plain sight. What would you do with an extra $764,000? Pay off your mortgage? Travel the world? Build generational wealth? It all starts with a simple habit. Look closer at what you already own. And if you think the 1999 D nickel is impressive, wait until you see what one wartime 1943 coin just sold for. Hint: it involves steel, a printing error, and a 7-figure bidding war. Subscribe now and hit the bell, because in our next video, we reveal 5 coins you might already have worth over $1 million combined. You don't want to miss it. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing the dusty nickel sitting in your kitchen drawer is worth more than your house. Yes, you heard that right. One simple 1981 D mint Mark Jefferson nickel recently made headlines with a jaw-dropping valuation of $864,000, and some experts believe the rarest versions could reach into the millions. Before you toss your old change into a Coinstar machine, stop. That nickel might just be your ticket to a wealthy lifestyle. And let's be honest, how many of us are actually checking our pocket change? We treat nickels like that one cousin who shows up to the reunion and no one remembers inviting. Let's rewind the clock. It's 1981. Ronald Reagan is president. MTV doesn't exist yet. But at the Denver Mint, something extraordinary is happening. Among the millions of nickels minted that year, a few are unlike any others. Enter the 1981 D Mint Mark Jefferson nickel. On the surface, it looks like any other coin. Same stoic Thomas Jefferson. Same Monticello building. But beneath that copper-nickel surface hides a secret. What makes these few coins so rare? It's not just age. It's about die errors, misstrikes, and a very specific planchet anomaly that causes certain nickels from 1981 Denver to be categorized as ultra-rare. And here's the twist. Even seasoned collectors often miss the signs. Could you be sitting on one and not even know it? Now you might be thinking, what are the odds? Well, here's the thing. Rare doesn't mean impossible. In fact, dozens of these have been discovered in pawn shops, old piggy banks, and yes, even glove compartments. Here's where the story takes a turn. One of these nickels recently sold for over $864,000 at a private auction. Why? Because it had a double die obverse, full steps on Monticello, and a flawless, untouched mint state. That level of detail? Practically unheard of. And the fear? That most people throw them away, unknowingly erasing generational wealth from their lives. Tell me, when's the last time a vending machine returned change that could pay off your mortgage? The demand for these coins is skyrocketing. Collectors are scrambling. Auction houses are issuing wanted notices. Because for them, a rare Jefferson nickel is like discovering a Van Gogh at a garage sale. But here's the kicker, there are still hundreds out there, hidden, untouched, and the next one could be yours. So what exactly should you be looking for? Look closely at your 1981 nickel. Does it have a clear D Mint mark under the date? Do the Monticello steps show full, uninterrupted lines? Are there signs of doubling on Jefferson's face or the inscriptions? Is the coin still shiny with no visible wear? Even a single one of these traits can multiply its value exponentially. And if you find all three, congratulations, you're holding a modern treasure. Pause button, humorous reset colon, and suddenly that coffee can of spare change doesn't seem so worthless. Does it? ACT3, the resolution and call to action 7:30 to 10 o'clock studio microphone voiceover. Inspirational, authoritative, you don't need to be a seasoned coin collector. You don't need an advanced degree in numismatics. All you need is awareness. Because right now, coins like this are changing lives. Clapperboard show testimonial clips, happy families, vacation imagery, financial freedom visuals. One couple in Ohio found 2 rare Jefferson nickels in a box from their grandfather. They turned that 10 cents into over $200,000. They paid off debt, took their first vacation in 10 years. That could be your story. So what are you waiting for? Go grab your old coins. Dig into those drawers. Check every 1981 nickel. Because while others are sleeping on fortunes, you have the knowledge to change your life today. And in our next video, we reveal another nickel even rarer than the 1981 D, worth over $2.30 million. Subscribe, so you don't miss the coin that could turn you into a millionaire. What if I told you that a simple 5-cent coin, sitting unnoticed in your drawer, could be worth over $764,000 today? Yes, you heard that right. One ordinary-looking 1982 D Monticello Jefferson nickel has recently rocked the numismatic world, with experts valuing it close to $750,000, and that's just one example. Now, before you rush to check your pocket change, stay with me, because in the next few minutes you'll discover why this nickel is so rare, how to spot one, and how you could turn your forgotten coins into a fortune. And who knows, that old coffee can in your garage might just be your retirement plan in disguise. Let's rewind the clock to 1982. A year when E.T. phoned home, Michael Jackson moonwalked into history, and the U.S. Mint made a quiet little mistake that would later make headlines decades later. The 1982 D Jefferson nickel, minted in Denver, was supposed to be just another standard coin. But a few versions were struck on the wrong planchet. Others had incredible die alignment errors, and some were minted using transitional metal compositions, a rare minting phenomenon. In simpler terms, the U.S. Mint accidentally created treasure. Ever seen a squirrel bury a coin instead of a nut? No? That's kind of what the government did here. Only instead of a squirrel, it was the mint, and instead of dirt, they buried it in plain sight, circulation. Today, A certified high-grade 1982D Jefferson nickel with rare die characteristics can fetch over $764,000 at auction. That's more than most luxury cars, more than 4 years at Harvard, and definitely more than your last 5 nickels combined. But why this coin? What makes it so special? We'll get to that right after this cliffhanger. One of these nickels was almost thrown away as change in a vending machine. Wait till you hear how it was discovered, so here's the story. In 2019, a retired veteran sorting through a dusty coin jar found a 1982D Jefferson nickel that looked different. Something about the Monticello text was slightly off-center. The rim was thicker. It felt heavier. After sending it for grading, the results came back. MS67 full steps, rare strike features, and an almost flawless finish. The verdict? Nearly $800,000 in estimated value. Let that sink in. You're telling me the same nickel I used to scratch off lottery tickets could be the lottery ticket? Now, let's talk key markers you should look for. Look at the D mint mark under the year. Some rare versions have it misaligned or struck off-center. Examine the steps on the Monticello building. Full steps means the lines are crisp and complete. Check the weight. Some 1982D nickels were minted on copper-based blanks instead of the standard nickel-clad ones. Don't have a coin scale? They're under $10 online. If one coin could be worth $700,000, that's a tiny investment for a life-changing discovery. But here's where the urgency kicks in. These coins are disappearing into private collections every day. Once they're off the market, they're gone. And with collectors getting more aggressive, you may only have months, maybe weeks, before your shot at a jackpot disappears forever. Okay, I think I found one. What do I do next? Handle it with care, use gloves or soft cloth. Fingerprints can lower value. Get it graded, use a certified service like PCGS or NGC. Grading is crucial. Compare it to past sales, look up auction history. Sites like Heritage Auctions or eBay can show you the going rates. Consult a coin dealer or, better yet, a rare coin broker. And no, showing it to your cousin Frank who once collected quarters in the 70s doesn't count. Here's the truth. Many people dream of wealth, but very few ever find it in their own hands. What you're holding might not just be a coin. It could be your key to early retirement, debt freedom, or a dream home by the lake. But only if you act. And in the next video, I'll show you 5 other nickels from the 20th century that are each worth over $500,000, including one that was almost thrown away at a gas station in Nevada. If you found this valuable, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications because more hidden coin treasures are being revealed every week. Your dream life might not be in the lottery, or the stock market. It might just be hiding in your junk drawer. Check your coins. Your future could be 5 cents away. We're cracking open the vault on one of the most overlooked coins in America that recently sold for a jaw-dropping $564,000. And the crazy part? Millions of these were minted, but only a few hold the golden ticket. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot one, how to sell it, and how this tiny piece of metal could be your ticket to a wealthy lifestyle. Picture this. It's 1989. The Berlin Wall is falling. Nintendo is king. And somewhere in Philadelphia, the US Mint releases the Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark. Millions are made. People use them, spend them, forget them. But then, something goes wrong. A handful of these nickels are struck with rare mint errors and ultra-high-grade finishes, details invisible to the untrained eye. And one day, decades later, a man stumbles upon one while cleaning out his father's old cigar box, and it changes his life forever. Now, I know what you're thinking. I checked my change cup once and only found a stale M&M and a Canadian penny. Don't worry, this isn't luck. It's knowledge. The difference between a 5-cent coin and a $564,000 windfall? Knowing exactly what to look for. Let's break it down. Located just to the right of Jefferson's portrait, a perfectly struck reverse with all 5 to 6 steps visible. This is crucial. Double die obverse, off-center strikes, and struck on the wrong planchet. Jackpot. We're talking MS67 or above. These are what command insane values at auctions. One recently sold at auction for $564,000 because it combined extreme rarity, a mint error, and nearly flawless condition. Can you imagine walking into a coin shop with something worth more than a Lamborghini? And no one even saw it coming? But here's the twist. Not all 1989 P nickels are valuable. In fact, most aren't. So how do you really know if yours is worth big money? Here's where it gets exciting. You now have the knowledge, but what's next? Dig through your drawers, jars, and yes, even that bag of coins in the car. Look for that 1989 P. Use a magnifying glass or look closely at the Monticello steps. If they're sharp and complete, you might be holding something special. Get it appraised. Send high-quality photos to a certified numismatist or grading service like PCGS or NGC. Don't rely on eBay listings. Monetize wisely. Auctions, private collectors, or reputable dealers are your best bet. Do not sell it at a pawn shop. Selling it at a pawn shop is like trading a Ferrari for a used lawnmower with a flat tire. Here's the danger. Most people spend these rare coins without knowing it. They slip through fingers, get lost in vending machines, or worse, get rolled up and cashed at the bank. Don't let that happen to you. Final cliffhanger and call to action. So now the real question is, do you have the $1 million nickel? Or will someone else find it first? If you're ready to turn your forgotten change into financial freedom, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more rare coin breakdowns, and comment below if you found a 1989 P in your stash. We're building a community of modern-day treasure hunters, and the next millionaire could be you. Sometimes wealth doesn't come from Wall Street. Sometimes it comes from the palm of your hand, wrapped in nickel and hiding in plain sight. What if I told you there's a nickel, yes, a 5-cent coin, you could be holding right now that's worth over $764,000? A coin that millions overlooked. A coin you may have spent on coffee, dropped in your couch, or tossed in a jar years ago. This isn't a fantasy. This is the true story of the 1974 no-mint Mark Jefferson nickel, and it could be your ticket to financial freedom, retirement wealth, or even that dream lifestyle you've been quietly chasing. And no, you don't need to be Indiana Jones to find it, but you might want to check that old coin jar before your neighbor does. In this video, we're diving deep into how and why this unassuming nickel is shattering expectations and bank accounts, with a current market value soaring at over $764,000. So don't blink, because by the end, you'll know whether you're sitting on a retirement fortune or just 5 cents. Let's rewind the clock to 1974. America was coming off the gold standard, Nixon had just resigned, and the country was shifting gears. In the middle of this chaos, the U.S. Mint made a quiet mistake. That mistake? A batch of Jefferson nickels minted in Philadelphia without the P mint mark. These coins should have had a mint mark, but due to a subtle, rare production oversight, they were minted blank, just a clean Monticello design and Thomas Jefferson's face, staring into history. Now, here's where it gets interesting. These weren't collector's items at the time. In fact, most people didn't notice. They were tossed into circulation, buried in pockets, vending machines, and change drawers. Fast forward to today, and these error nickels are being hunted by collectors, investors, and dealers like modern-day treasure maps. But what makes this nickel so much more valuable than thousands of others? Why are collectors willing to pay over $750,000 for a coin once worth 5 cents? The answer lies in 3 powerful words: rarity, condition, and timing. Only a handful of 1974 no-mint Mark Jefferson nickels exist in pristine, uncirculated condition. One of them, a nearly flawless specimen, was graded MS66 by PCGS, the professional coin grading service. It sold for a jaw-dropping $764,000 at auction. That's more than the average American home. That's 10,000 Starbucks runs, or one really good lawyer if you forget to tell your spouse about it. These coins are still out there, in drawers, boxes, coin jars, estate sales, and garages across the country. Could one be hiding in your home? Don't assume you're too late. The coin market is booming, and as inflation rises, collectors are paying top dollar for historical assets. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but only if you know how to spot it. No mint mark under the date. Monticello steps should be sharp and define the cleaner. The better higher grades equals higher value. Not sure? That's okay. You can start by sorting through your change, checking old collections, or visiting a certified coin appraiser. And here's the kicker. Some people are finding multiple rare nickels in the same coin rolled. So yeah, Forget scratching lottery tickets. Your old jar of coins might have already hit the jackpot. The market is alive right now. With investors flooding into rare assets, coin values are rising fast, and timing is everything. Wait too long, and you might be selling into a flooded market, or worse, letting someone else profit from your own coin. If you did find a $764,000 nickel, would you sell it now or hold it for even more? In our next video, we'll reveal the secret strategies collectors use to get top dollar and avoid being ripped off by shady dealers. So subscribe, hit the bell icon, and start hunting, because that nickel could be sitting just inches away from your hand. Don't just live to work. Let your coins do the heavy lifting for a life of freedom, wealth, and legacy. This is more than coin collecting. This is treasure hunting. Like, subscribe, and comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or want help identifying your collection. And if you think a $764,000 coin can't be found by someone like you.